Greetings and welcome to another Impressions video here at Words About Games, and today we're going to be looking at Streets of Rogue. Streets of Rogue is a top-down, roguelike, immersive sim that's all about player choice and freedom. The game takes place in a massive procedurally generated city that's been constructed like a skyscraper, conveniently segmented into different sections. You play as a new member of the Resistance and are sent on a mission to make your way through the different districts, completing side missions on your way to freeing the city from a corrupt mayor. If you load up the game's store page, you'll see in the description that the publisher has listed numerous games that Streets of Rogue has taken its inspiration from. There's a lot of fairly noticeable inspirations in the game itself, ranging from Nuclear Throne and Binding of Isaac to Deus Ex and Dishonored, though not Streets of Rage, funnily enough. How Streets of Rogue has been inspired by these games is fairly obvious as you're playing, at least if you've played those other games before. To its credit, though, Streets of Rogue never feels derivative and easily stands apart from its inspirations, mixing its own ideas with what it learned from other games to create something that feels, if not unique, at least very distinct from anything else you've played. And it can be an absolute riot to play too. Developer Matt Dabrowski has embraced player choice above all else, with all of the game's numerous systems and mechanics built to give Streets of Rogue's players the absolute freedom to play this game however they want. It's a freedom that's built into every aspect of the game, even before you set off for a run through the city. There are multiple classes to choose from that fundamentally alter how you'll approach a run. From the fairly standard soldier, who's good with guns, or doctor, who doesn't use weapons and knocks out opponents, to less traditional options such as the investment banker, who's addicted to drugs but has huge pools of starting cash and can buy items cheaper. And then there's options like the vampire or werewolf if you want to get really crazy. You're also able to create your own custom class using a point-buy system, mixing and matching various stats and abilities that you've unlocked to create a character geared towards your playstyle. Or pump the stats to maximum and give yourself all the perks and equipment you want, at the cost of being able to unlock things or collect chicken nuggets, the permanent currency you use to unlock new traits or items you can equip or find during runs. Similarly, mutators let you customize each run with different modifiers, allowing you to have multiple lives, infinite ammo, remove guns altogether, populate all levels with zombies, make all the NPCs in the game immediately hostile, and much, much more. This for me was the biggest draw in Streets of Rogue. The core gameplay is tight enough to make a vanilla run a decent time, but messing with all of the different game modifiers is where Streets of Rogue really came to life. Being able to totally mix up the game between each run made me eager to dive in again and again, and I loved seeing how much chaos I could inflict on myself, or what utter insanity I could unleash on the city. None of this would work if the gameplay itself wasn't as robust as the customization options, which thankfully it is. If I was to try and describe each facet of Streets of Rogue's gameplay loop, we'd be here for another half an hour at least, and I'd probably still forget something. Needless to say, there's a lot of depth here, thanks to the game taking cues from the immersive sim genre. Streets of Rogue is an immersive sim that lets you get as nuts as you want with it, thanks to its gameplay and what it lets you do in any given level. Essentially, the true beauty of playing Streets of Rogue is asking the question, what if, and seeing the results. What if I cloned myself a group of followers and gave them all rocket launchers? What if I just blew a hole in the wall of this building instead of using a door? What if I use this slowing syringe on the air filtration system? What if I rescue this gorilla? What if I let the killer robot shooting rockets keep following me while I was completing objectives? Streets of Rogue has an answer for all of those questions and more. Its base gameplay is fairly simple. It's a top-down, twin-stick-ish action game where you complete submissions to unlock access to the next level, while also finding or buying new gear and acquiring new traits and abilities to improve along the way. But once you start pushing against the quote-unquote standard way of playing, you'll find that it can keep up with you. I was having an exponentially more entertaining time with the game the more I experimented, both with mutators and character classes, and within the game world itself. This makes Streets of Rogue a game where you'll get out what you put in. If you play it fairly straight, going from level to level, simply completing objectives and leveling your character up, you'll find a pretty good experience with some tight gameplay. The more you experiment, however, the more entertaining the game becomes. At least that's how it worked for me. That's the beauty of a really well-made immersive sim, which Streets of Rogue definitely is. You can approach it however you like, and generally find that it'll accommodate you. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave us a comment, like, or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've got tons of awesome videos coming every week, including review impressions, indie game of the week, debate-driven top 5 lists, video essays, and our weekly podcast where we discuss games, gaming culture, and the games industry. We also stream 3 times a week at twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. But most importantly, have a fantastic day.